Hey folks, Keith McGowan, the Outboard Dad, here to help you have a better boating experience. Today I wanted to remind you about my outboard motor buying guide, used outboard motor buying guide, that will soon be on Amazon within the next week or so for $20. If you send me an email at keith@outboarddad.com, I will gladly give you a free session. If you send me an email with a proof of purchase of the guide, a free session on the phone to help you with your outboard or a boat that you possibly are buying. Now today, if you remember, we got into that power tilt and trim, so let's get into it a little deeper for that Yamaha. So this one doesn't have any oil around it, so it doesn't look like this one was leaking. But the seal itself doesn't look better, it's all dried out. So it's a wiper on the top and the O-ring on the bottom. I'm also noticing some corrosion around here that may be letting fluid in. We're gonna have to pull this out and clean it up really good. This one too has pits in it. Don't know if you can see that in the camera, but I can catch my screwdriver in it. Bigger ones here, yeah, you can see those for sure. So that's not gonna seal no matter what we do. And these are not repairable. Maybe you could find a machine shop that could weld it up, but by the time you did that, you can probably buy new ones or a rebuilt. So we got two bad ones. We're gonna have to hope that the other ones are good in the other power tilt and trim, or that's gonna have to be replaced. Now we gotta get this one apart. So we did ended up having to make those holes a little larger, use my tool. So I just put 2 bolts in there, dropped it in those 2 holes, gave it a couple of taps, came right loose. So again, this tool, look up Evinrude Trim and Tilt in my videos, and it goes into how I made this tool and exactly how it works, so I don't have to do it again here. So now that we got it loose enough, get it the rest of the way up. Now I want to bring this up slowly, working it back and forth just like I did the other ones, because I don't want to spray oil all over the place. That's the technical term. There's a spring in the top of this, so we just want to do it slowly. Seeing some sludge in here, that's not a good thing. This really needs a good cleaning. We're going to have to take the other one apart as well and see which one is worth saving and which one isn't. Again, we want to put my cheaters on, and I see right here already see a ridge here, yeah. So that's not going to fly. So all 3 of these are no good. No sense in taking this apart any further. You can see I drilled out the cap so that I could get my bolts in there. Cap is reusable, but I can feel it now when I go up and down. I can feel those pits. So we're going to have to pull apart that other power tilt and trim. Actually, before I pull it apart, I'm going to get it up here in the vise and look at it a little closer, because most of this is exposed, I could see. So here I have the other power tilt and trim. This was the original one now that I look at it, because it's got my labels on it. I label things with numbers. This motor is not as good as the other one, but let's see these shafts, what they look like. Put my cheater glasses on. Now I'm not seeing any residue of oil other than a little bit on the top one. Bottom ones, I'm not seeing residue of oil. But we can hook this up to a battery and work this back and forth. And these look good. Now I do have a little bit of, it's like paint or something on the bottom, but nothing that can't be taken off. No, don't see any ridges. This looks pretty clean. I think we'll work this back and forth with the battery and see what it does. I thought he said this one was leaking, and it does look like I have a little residue up top. You can see the gold because he replaced that cap. So let's get a battery over here and let's see if we can make this work. So we have our green and blue wires. One goes positive, one negative, and it goes up and or down. So let's see what we got this way. That's up. Let's get it up all the way. This looks really clean. Maybe we just need to do a new seal here. Put my cheaters on. A little WD-40. There's a very, very small nick there. I get a little 1000 grit. Yes, so there is pitting on this. Very minute, but there is pitting on this. So I'll bet you it's just the center one that was leaking on them. Yeah, this looks really good. I'm going to call these two good and this one bad up top here. And I'm going to be willing to bet it's a little low on fluid because it wouldn't sink right down. But of course it goes down a lot better when it's got the heavy motor on it. So I'd like to replace this, take the motor off the other one, put this one on. We'll see if we break these bolts. Let's try it. If we do, we'll tap them out. It's got to be done. We're going to work it back and forth. It's going a little slow. Also has a lot of pressure on it. Hopefully it leaked some of that fluid into the bolt hole and got a little lubrication in there. We'll tighten up these other two so we don't make a crazy mess. That one definitely has oil in it now because it just went right in nice and easy. So hopefully we just lubricated it and it'll come out the rest of the way. So it looks like we need a center seal and shaft. So the question is going to be, what's the cost of that going to be? Or can we find another motor with a good power tilt and trim? All right, so that came right off. So we'll clean this up. We'll get a new seal for it. Although the motor still works, it's kind of crusty. So if I have another one, we'll put another one on there. So we'll have to go ahead and do the same process, drain the fluid out of this one, and go ahead and get this cap off of here, and then we'll have to look for some parts. So please like, subscribe, send me any comments that you have. Don't forget, very soon, not yet, hopefully in the next week or so, I'll have on Amazon my used outboard motor buying guide for $20. If you send me proof of purchase to my email at keith@outboarddad.com, I will give you a free session of consultation of a boat you might be buying or a motor that you're working on. So please like, subscribe, send me any comments that you have, and we hope to see you out on the water.